Yo, David, who's the most influential person in your life?
I mean, I don't know, man. There's a lot of people to choose from, but if there's one person I could pick, it might just have to be L'Hopital.
Alright, let's summon him then.
It's also a great exercise.
Are you L'Hopital?
Yes.
But you're not white.
Oh yes. I got very tan in my vacation. Would you like me to tell you about my life story?
No.
Not really.
Perfect! So when I was a boy, back home in France, my father was involved in the army. He was a lieutenant general. And my mom was also involved in the army. Me being brought up in a military home, I was a captain for a cavalry regiment. Sadly, I had to leave the army because I was nearsighted and I couldn't see 10 paces ahead of me. I cannot see more than 10 paces in front of me. From there, I pursued my true dream of becoming a mathematician.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Actually, when I was 15 years old, a man named Blaise Pascal, the man who created the Pascal's triangle, asked a question about cycloids. I actually solved that question, and I guess they classified me as a mathematician. A talented mathematician. Anyway, after leaving the military, mathematics drew me in. The subject of calculus evolving right before my eyes. I was able to completely comprehend the new concepts of what was now called infinitesimal calculus. There were only four men that completely understood it. They were Leibniz, Newton, John, and James Bernoulli. And now, what I heard, John Bernoulli was a great and inspiring teacher known throughout all of Europe. So I asked him to tutor me, and to my surprise, he did. Of course, I had to pay. Because I paid him, I not only brought his time to teach me, but as well I bought his research. In 1696, with the help of his aid and research, I was able to compose my calculus textbook, Analyse infiniment petit pour l'intelligence de l'ignis corporui.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Don't worry, I'll give you time to copy that down. Done yet? This textbook educated Europe about newly discovered calculus concepts. Between you and me, even though this was my textbook, most of the contributions are Bernoulli's work. But, don't tell anyone that. J3. Moi approve. In here you will see my rule. What rule is that? Let me show you. As you can see, if you were to plug in the limit for this equation, 1 minus 1 would equal 0 over 0. But if you use L'Hopital's rule, my rule, and you take the derivative of the top and bottom, you would get 1 over 1, since the derivative of x minus 1 equals 1. So the answer for this limit would be 1, thanks to me. You see in this equation, cos x minus 1 over x squared, as the limit of x is going to 0. If I were to plug in 0 for this equation, it would equal 0 over 0, since cos x equals 1 and the square of 0 is 0. And you cannot have such thing. So as you can see, you must use L'Hopital's rule once again, my rule. So we must take the derivative of the top and bottom, which would equal negative sine x over 2x. And if I were to plug in the limit as x went to 0 once again, it would equal 0. over 0, which we cannot have. So I must take and do my rule once again, the right rule. A negative cos x over 2. I took the derivative of top and bottom once again, and this time it worked. So this would equal 0 over 2, which
It was
would
at this
soon-
moment that he knew.
which would equal negative 1 over 2, which equals the limit to this equation. L'Hopital's rule shows the solution of indeterminate forms of limits such as 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity. You can use this rule as many times as needed until you get a result which isn't 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity. Although I bought a lot of Bernoulli's research, I did contribute to the development of differential calculus. Unfortunately, I died. I died on February 2nd, 1704. I was only 43 years old. I know that's just a sad story. A sad story. So, have you guys learned a thing or two?
No.
Not really.
If you like pina colada